Welcome to lesson number 2 yama-number patterns, sequences and series. Izolo siqale i-introduction kuma-number patterns, and then today sizoqhubeka nge-arithmetic sequences. So ngaphambi kokuthi siqhubeke ku-arithmetic sequences, asibuyekeze lokho esikwenze izolo. So izolo we looked at what a number pattern is. So ukuzikhumbuza, let us just read through this again. A list of numbers in order is called a number pattern or number sequence. So if you have a list of numbers like 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9, jalo njalo, that is a number pattern or a number sequence. We need at least 3 numbers in the list to work out if the numbers form a pattern. So if you have 3 numbers at least, you'll be able to tell if those numbers form a pattern. Otherwise, if you have 2 numbers only, you can't say if the numbers form a pattern or not. Like in this case, we have 2, 4. Many different numbers are possible. Many different number patterns are possible if you only have 2 numbers. Like in this case, if you have 2, 4, any number can come after 4. If we add 2 each time, then we'll have 6. Then the pattern will be 2, 4, 6. And then if you multiply by 2 each time, the following number after this will be 8. You'll have 2, 4, 8. Or it could be a repeating pattern just like this one here, 2, 4, 2, 4. Right? So now go question paper yako, you'll need at least 3 numbers. Decide okay, do those numbers form a pattern or not. Yeah, and then sabuye define ne term of a sequence. So a single number in a pattern or a sequence is called a term. In this sequence 2, 4, 6, a single number is a term. 2 is a term, 4 is a term, 6 is a term, jalo njalo. Sabuye sathi in notation, you describe by a term is as follows. Term T1 is written as T1. Term 1 is written as T1. Term 2 is written as T2. Term 3 will be written as T3, and so on. The number of the term shows its position in the sequence. T1 is in first position. T2 is in second position. T10 is in the 10th position. Tn is in the nth position. Right? Sabuye saqala nama examples. Sabheke example 1, 2 and 3. So kube khona question engithola ko for example example 3. So I think zamuchaza example 3. Lana bathi look at the sequence 1, 4, 9. These are all perfect square numbers. Each number is the number of the term squared. Right? So we have the sequence okay, I think to the pen. Okay. We have the sequence 1. We have the sequence 1, 4, 9, jalo njalo. So bathi each number is the number of the term squared, right? So each number is the number of the term squared. So go T1 sino T1, sino T2, sino T3. Kumbule ukuthi nasidefine a term of a sequence, sithe this notation is tshela ukuthi if we say T1, is tshela ukuthi this is in the first position lapha ku sequence. T2, this term iku position 2 ku sequence. T3, this term iku position 3 ku sequence. So if you square a position yaleyo term uzothola in if you square a position, you should get a number ezoba kuleyo position. If you say 1 squared, uzothola u1. If you say 2 squared, uzothola u4. If you say 3 squared, uzothola u9, njalo njalo. So i-sequence le izoqhubeka kanjalo. So lana sizoba no1, lana sizoba no4, lana sizoba no9, njalo njalo. So i-term elandelako lana uzothi 4 squared bese kunikela u16, right? So yeah, now ubhala in general terms, or in a general form, uzothi t1 squared, t2 squared, t3 squared, njalo njalo. Okay, so if isa-confuse ungithumele i-text ku WhatsApp again, ngizozama ukuyichaza ngconywana, right? Okay, so kanjena let's continue with arithmetic sequences. Arithmetic sequences. Okay, so an arithmetic sequence is a sequence where the common difference d between consecutive terms is constant. So i-arithmetic sequence uzoyibona ukuthi i-difference kulama term alandelanayo is constant. So if we have a sequence, T1, T2, T3, and T4. If this sequence is an arithmetic sequence, a common difference is constant. So the difference between two consecutive terms will be a constant, right? So if you say if you say T2 minus T1, that should be equals to T3 minus T2. And that again should be equals to T4 minus T3. Sorry, T4 minus T3. Because if we say this is an arithmetic sequence, then this condition here should hold. So ukudlulela kwenye in number, you add a constant difference, right? So if we have the example, a common arithmetic sequence, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, njalo njalo. Because if you say 2 minus 1, utholu 1. If you say 3 minus 2, utholu 1. If you say 4 minus 3, utholu 1. So 1 lona is a common difference, right? So if uyazi ukuthi this is an arithmetic sequence, then you know what the difference between each consecutive terms is the same throughout. So now eta u1 la yokunikela u5, because siyazi ukuthi we have a common difference throughout. Okay, so lana bachaza lokho engicela ukusho ukuthi the difference is common if you take T2 term number 2 minus term number 1. That should be the same when you take term number 3 minus term number 2, and it should be the same when you take term number n minus term number n minus 1, which is equals to d, alright, because it's a common difference. So let us look at this example here. Given the sequence 5, 9, 13, 17, given the sequence 5, 9, I think Sulela. Okay. Given the sequence 5, 5, 9, 13, 17. Right, let us answer these questions. 5, 9, 13, 17. Determine the common difference, determine the next two terms. So question number 1 is determine the common difference. Ukuthola a common difference, you take T2 minus T1 or T3 minus T2 or T4 minus T3. Right, this is T1, this is T2, this is T3, this is T4. Right, what is T2 minus T1? T2 is 9, T1 is 5. So a common difference is 9 minus 5, that's 4. Right, again, if you say T3 minus T2, that is 13 minus 9, it should give you 4. T3 is 13, T2 is 9, that should give you 4. And then if you take T4 minus T3, T4 is 17, T3 is 13. 17 minus 13 is also equals to 4. Therefore, this is an arithmetic sequence because we have a constant difference, or we have a common difference between consecutive terms of the sequence. So Bate calculate the common difference. So our common difference is 4. Right, because we are ukusuka from u5 we u9 we added 4, ukusuka from u9 saya ku13 we added 4, ukusuka from u13 we are u17 we added 4. Right, so therefore a common difference here is 4. Determine the next two terms. Determine the next two terms of the sequence. So the next two terms in this sequence is T5 and T6. Right, sorry, things I'm select a pen. Okay, the next two terms is T5 and T6. Right, so but he calculated the next two terms. So T5 is equals to T4 plus 4, because the common difference is 4. And then T6 will be equals to T5 plus 4, because the common difference is 4. Right, so lapha T5 ula bathe calculate the next two terms angisho. So last no term 5, lana sino term 6. So from term 4 to term 5 we're gonna add 4. From term 5 to term 6 we're gonna add 4. So what is term number 4? term number 4 is equals to 17. If you add 4, you get to 21. And then so T5 is 21, so let's note 21, right? And then what is term number 6? Term number 6 is term 5 plus 4, because the common difference is 4. So term 5 is equals to 21, and then our common difference is 4. Therefore term number 6 is 21 plus 4, which is 25. So the next two terms of the sequence, it's 21 and 25. So yeah, so T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. What is equal T2? We add 4 to T1. What is equal T3? We add 4 to T2. What is equal T4? Add 4 to T3. Jalo njalo, because common difference go 4. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Right, so common difference in I, this is how they calculated it. And then the next two terms, term number 5, not term number 6, is 21 and 25. It's 21 and 25. Okay, that is true again. So now they introduce a formula yaga Tn. Tn is A plus n minus 1d, where A is the first term and d is the common difference. If we use A for the first term, T1, d for the common difference, then the general term for an arithmetic sequence is Tn is equals to the first term plus n minus 1 times the common difference, right? So let us look at an example. Okay, I think Sulela Kala, and create space for example. Okay. Right. Okay. Here's our examples. So given the sequence 4, 10, 16, question A bathi determine a formula for the nth term of the sequence. So bafuna a formula yaga Tn. So we have a sequence, right? We are given at least 3 terms lapha ku sequence. Therefore, ku introduction yethu khumbula ukuthi if we are given 3 terms ku sequence, we can see ukuthi those terms form a pattern or what. So let us see what pattern is being formed here. Assuming that we don't know ukuthi we are dealing with an arithmetic sequence, take this as an exam question. They don't say ukuthi it's an arithmetic sequence. How will you know if it's an arithmetic sequence? You'll have to see ukuthi, do we have a common difference between consecutive terms in the sequence? So our sequence is 4, 10, 16. So what happened ukuthi si move from term 1 to term 2? To move from 4 to 10, we added 6. Move from 10 to 16 we added 6. Therefore we have a common difference of 6, which means that D is equals to 6. Now siyazi ukuthi okay, we have a common difference, therefore say we have an arithmetic sequence now, right? So siyazi ukuthi lapha ku A we are dealing with Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1 D, because we are dealing with an arithmetic sequence, right? So but he determine a formula for the nth term of the sequence. This is the formula for the nth term of the sequence, where Tn is the formula for the nth term of the sequence, and Tn is equals to the first term, which is A. In this case A is 4 plus n minus 1 times D, the common difference, which is 6. Therefore we have 4 plus, multiply my brackets, this is over no 6n minus 6. Therefore the formula for the nth term is over 6n minus 2, right? And then question B, but calculate the 50th term of the sequence, right? So this is the nth term of the sequence, and then it is 6n minus 2. So if we know the nth term of the sequence, we can calculate any term in this sequence. So ukuthola term number 50 of this sequence, wherever we see n in the formula of our nth term, we put 50. So lapha ku formula ya Tn we will substitute 50 wherever we see n. So T50 is equals to 6. Wherever we see n we put 50, substitute to 50 lapha, minus 2. And then can punch this in your calculator, say 6 times 50 minus 2 is 298, right? So 298 is term number 50. Okay, 298 is term 50. Sorry, 298 is term number 50. Okay, and then question C. Question C, what the question C, but which term of the sequence is equals to 310? So sifuna ukwazi ukuthi u310 position number bani in this sequence, right? So question, now compare question B no question C. Question C bathi funa inumber eku position 50. Number leyo siyitholile sathi ngu298. And then question C bathi u310 number bani uku position bani ku sequence yethu. Question B bathi calculate inumber eku position 50. Nabathi calculate the 50th term. Calculate the number eku position 50 in our sequence. Sithole number leyo ukuthi ku298. Ku298, right? And then question C bathi which term in the sequence is equals to 310. So lana bafuna i-position, ngamanye amagama bafuna u-n. So in our formula ya Tn sizothi sifuna ukwazi ukuthi which term is equals to 310, right? So sizothi Tn equals to 310. Tn is equals to 6n minus 2. 6n minus 2 is equals to 310. Njena sine question yaka solve for n, so sisolve for n la. So nothatha u2 umletha ngaphana uzoba no 6n is equals to 312. Now divide ngo6 both sides, uzothola ukuthi u-n ngu 312 divided by 6, u-n ngu 52, right? N is 52. Oops. N is 52. N is 52. So u310 uku-position number 52. So sitholile leyo. Okay. Asichubeke with our notes. So you can check imemo ku study guides mind the gap, follow our steps ukuthi ba calculate njani. Okay. Let us do one more question. Okay. This create space for the next question. Sulelana. Okay. Then let us get our question. Right. Okay, we have a question, but given the sequence given the sequence 6, 13, 20, determine the formula for the nth term of the sequence. So this question iyafana nalesiqeda ukuyenza. Okay. So we are given 3 terms kule sequence. So because we are given at least 3 terms, we can see what these numbers form a pattern or not. So we have, assuming that we don't know what is an arithmetic sequence. Say this is an exam question. You'll first have to see what pattern is this. So we have 6, we have 13, we have 20, right? And then what happened with suge ku 6 say ku 13? If you say 13 minus 6, you will see what that is equals to 7, right? And then 7. If you say 20 minus 13, you will see what that is 7, right? That is 7, that is 7. Therefore, we have a common difference of 7. Because we have a common difference, then this is an arithmetic sequence. Once you hear arithmetic sequence, you then know what we are dealing with. Tn is equals to a plus n minus 1 times d. Because we have a common difference, therefore it's an arithmetic sequence. So asiye question A, but it determine a formula for the nth term of the sequence. Bafuna Tn lapha. So siyazi ukuthi Tn is equals to a plus n minus 1 d. We write this because siyazi ukuthi we have a common difference. Therefore siyazi ukuthi this sequence is an arithmetic sequence. So okay, so when we substitute, self-substitute a is our first term, in this case 6 plus n minus 1 times d, d is our common difference, which is 7. So if you see simplify, I will have 6 plus 7n minus 7. Therefore sizoba no 7n minus 1, formula yaka tn leyo. And then siya ku question B, bathi calculate the 21st term of the sequence. Bafuna ukwazi ukuthi ku position 21, ku position 21 inumber ekhona lapho ngibani. So sizoya ku formula yethu yaka tn, which is equals to 7n minus 1. Wherever we see n, we substitute 21. Therefore sizothi t21 is equals to 7 times, wherever we see n, we put 21 minus 1. And then when you punch this in your calculator, you put 7 times 21 minus 1 izokunikela 146. Therefore the 21st term of the sequence is 146, right? And then siyabuya siyaku question C. Question C bathi determine which term of this sequence is 97. Bafuna ukwazi ukuthi u97 ukuposition bani in this sequence, right? So uzothi tn is equals to 97. tn is this, tn is equals to 7n minus 1 equals to 97. Then this becomes a question of solving for n. So now solve for n, or so transpose 1 umusengale, and then you will have 7n equals to 98. Now n is equals to 98 over 7. That will give you 14. So u97 uku position 14 in our sequence. Okay, siqedile ngaleyo question. Okay, let's do one last one. Okay, I think it's question 3 because question 2 amporo yafana nalezi ezinye. So I think it's question 3. Okay, let us create space for question 3. So let's look at question 3. Given the arithmetic sequence 1 minus p, 2p minus 3, p plus 5, determine the value of p. Here we are told ukuthi this is an arithmetic sequence. Because basitshela ukuthi it's an arithmetic sequence, therefore we know ukuthi we have a common difference here, right? Because it's an arithmetic sequence, right? So let us solve for this question. We are told what is an arithmetic sequence, therefore we have a common difference. It's an arithmetic sequence, right? So because it's an arithmetic sequence, therefore we have a common difference. Okay, let us solve for A. So this is an arithmetic sequence, therefore we have a common difference. The common difference is D. D can be T2 minus T1, or we can calculate D by saying T3 minus T2. So because D is the common difference, if we say T2 minus T1, that should be the same as T3 minus T2, right? So because it's an arithmetic sequence, we have a common difference. Now where we see T2, we will put 2p minus 3. Where we see T1, we'll put 1 minus p, and where we see T3, we'll put p plus 5. Let us go ahead and substitute. Where there's T2, we put 2p minus 3. Where there's T1, we put 1 minus p, and where there's T3, we put p plus 5, and where there's T2, we put 2p minus 3. Okay, now let us simplify. The right hand side is 2p minus 3 minus 1 plus p. Left hand side we have p plus 5 minus 2p plus 3, and then left hand side sizoba no 2p plus p izosinikela u3p, and then sibe no minus 3 minus 1 isinikela minus 4. Ngapha sizoba no p minus 2p isinikela minus p, sibe no 5 plus 3 isinikela plus 8, right? Then sithathe u-p lona simlethe ngaphana, sithathe minus 4 lo simse ngale, sizoba no 3p plus p, sizoba no 4p. Kapha sizoba no 8 plus 4, sizoba no 12. Therefore p is equals to 3, right? And then question B, but it determine the values of the first 3 terms of the sequence. Because now we have the value of p, we'll just to determine the values of the first 3 terms of the sequence, sizosubstitute i-value ka p, which is 3, kuleya sequence yethu lapha. So wherever you see p in this sequence here, you will put 3. So sizoba no 1 minus 3, sibe no 2 times 3 minus 3, sibe no 3 plus 5. Therefore the first 3 terms of the sequence are 1 minus 3, it's minus 2. 2 times 3 is 6, minus 3 is 3. 3 plus 5 it's 8, right? Because this is an arithmetic sequence, we should have a common difference. Let us test. If we say 3 minus 2, that is 3 plus 2, it should be 5. If we say 3 minus 8, it's 5. Therefore our common difference is 5, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'll stop here for now and then continue tomorrow with geometric sequences. So feel free to ask any questions long as you see corner, and then I'll address them tomorrow before ngiqhubeka ngama geometric sequences. Yeah, until next time.